happy to have you here at Unity of Savannah today, a Center for Spiritual Awakening. And so happy to have you affirming this wonderful song with us. And we want to give you a moment to say hello to your neighbor. Make sure if you see somebody new, you make them feel welcome, because everybody's welcome here. More Denny. feeling all right this morning? You feeling? I tell you what sounds good to me about right now. We got Rochelle sounds good back there, don't she, this morning? Down back there. She laid it down for you this morning. Come on now. Say hey, Nate.
Good morning. Being. We worship God by living fully, loving lavishly, and being all that we can be. Please do me the honor, do me the pleasure of affirming with me our vision and our mission statements. Together, centered in God's love, we inspire universal transformation, one heart at a time. Our mission statement: we are an inclusive spiritual community serving others with love, joy, and truth. I must tell you, when I was in elementary school, they once told me that April showers bring May flowers. And Reverend Dale and our spiritual community, they've been giving us so much spiritual precipitation. And today, we have a beautiful flower. Lydia, stand up. Lydia Rose Stone is going to be giving the message today. She's going to tell us about her transformation journey and how she's bloomed throughout the years. All right. So I also want to, I want to recognize the prayer chaplains. If we have any prayer chaplains serving for us, I am serving as a prayer chaplain as well. We are here to hold spiritual space with you and also pray from an affirmative point of view. And whatever you share with us will be held in confidence. So give the prayer chaplains a round of applause. And I must not forget, we also have a prayer box. So if you want to drop a prayer in there, we pray over here. And we also send it to Silent Unity for 30 days. Okay? So now I'm going to light the Christ candle for the word transformation.
Transformation. Christ awareness transforms my life experience. The creation story in the first chapter of Genesis tells us that humankind is created in the image of God. And as I listen again to these powerful words, the truth of my divine essence, my Christ nature, takes root in my mind and heart. I declare with the Apostle Paul, it is no longer I who live, but it is Christ who lives in me. Belief in lack or limitation dissolves as I accept my Christ nature. Divine life revitalizes my body. Divine love harmonizes my relationships. Divine imagination shows me new possibilities. Divine wisdom and understanding guide my decisions and actions. Divine faith strengthens my commitment to transformation. Christ awareness transforms my life experience. I give thanks for my new life in Christ. And from Galatians 2:20, it is no longer I who live, but it is Christ who lives in me. And if you'd repeat with me, Christ awareness transforms my life experience.
Still my mind, be at peace, in my awakening, I release, with my heart, free my soul, in my awakening, I am whole. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om. World peace, Om Shanti. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om. As I love, and as I give, in my awakening, I choose to live. Give me strength, shine your light, in my awakening, clear my sight. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om. All I believe, and all I know, in my awakening, I let go. Fill me with hope. Temper my fear. In my awakening, God appear. Surrounded in love. Surrounded in calm. In my awakening, sing my song. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om.
in the presence. I'd like you to close your eyes. Gently relax into your chairs. Let it support you. We're going on a journey back in time. We're going past the day that you decided to come to Unity. We're going past the day that you got married. We're going past the day that you graduated from high school and grade school, back to before you started school at all. We're going back in time to the day you were born. You were born into this world in love and joy. Feel that love and joy from the day you were born. The people who were there named you. They gave you a beautiful name, a name of love, a name of courage, a name for your future. My name is Lydia Rose Stone. My parents chose that name for me in love because they loved me, because they loved each other. Your parent chose your name. You live up to that name, whatever it is. Feel the love, the essence of who you are as an infant, full of possibilities, full of things that are going to be happening for you, by you, through you. Before you found Christ, you were you. Now that you are you, you know Christ. And so in the silence, let's hold ourselves to that love and understanding of an infant child full of possibilities.
You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take, bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is found in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing. Just enjoy what this day brings. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes and take a breath and smile. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. I will do amazing things. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. I will do. Let's do it. Amazing. 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 I can do amazing things. One more time. Amazing. Amazing. I will do amazing things. Amazing things. You will do amazing things.
Debbie Burke Scott, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll just put it in the chair. There we go. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, isn't our band amazing? Oh. It was funny because when they asked me, "What's your talk going to be about? What's your talk going to be about?" I said, "Who am I?" It was like Debbie goes, "Well, if you don't know, how are we supposed to know?" I thought it was cute. Anyway, so that is the title of my talk. Who am I? And I have a little story about that. I had been struggling learning unity principles, taking classes. I also belonged to a 12-step program, and everything I was doing, it was like, why do I have to be the one that has to do this? Why is it me? And I'm in my kitchen, stomping my feet on the floor, and just hollering and screaming, and loud and clear, because you are my child. Whoa! You are my child. And everything fell into place after that. And that wasn't that long ago. That was after my second divorce, and I was living on my own in this little apartment downtown. But I had begun doing things that were not natural for me. Okay? I had started doing things that were not, they were things I was learning. I was learning how to do new things, and it was just becoming too much. And so when those words came to me, "You are my child," I knew that all was going to be okay. I'm going to read you a couple of stories, and I'm going to tell you a couple of things about myself. My name is Lydia Rose Stone. Lydia means spiritual understanding. Rose means unfolding. And the stone means the stone that Peter built his church on. Jesus used him. Jesus was not a Christian, y'all. Jesus was a Jew. Oh my God. What do you mean it's not Jesus' church? It's not. It is Peter's and Paul's church. They took the teachings of Jesus and turned it into a way of life. So, I was challenged. My first husband passed away when I was 22 years old. And a lot of this talk came out of that understanding that he passed away when I was young. I had 2 children. His birthday was May the 3rd. And so I honor his birthday every year. And because he was such an important part of my life. He was the first man I truly loved. I mean, I'd had boyfriends up to then, but he was the first love of my life. And I never knew how I was going to be able to do that until after I'd gotten married a second time and then had 2 more children. I have 4. 2 more children. And my youngest was born on May the 5th. Today's her birthday. Happy birthday, baby. She couldn't be here. She works nights, so she's going to see the video. Hi, Dale. Glad you're here, Dale. Thank you for asking me, Dale. But the importance that we have in ourselves. I'm going to read you this story here. It's in Chronicles 4. It starts at verse 9. And one of them was dear to his father and to his mother. So they called his name Our Eyes. And they said to him, "The Lord shall surely bless you and enlarge your territory, and his hand shall be with you, and shall deliver you from evil, that it may not have power over you, and he shall grant you that which you request of him." This story is in the middle of the prodigy of lineage of David. Up to that point, it's nothing but name after name after name after name. So-and-so begot so-and-so and so. And then it picks up again after that. So-and-so begot so-and-so. Yeah, and just goes on until the end of the chapter. There is an importance in our names. My youngest daughter's name is Dawn Irene. She's my peaceful sunrise. Because I'd had so much chaos and so much stuff that happened in my life up to that point. I needed a peaceful place. And she lives up to that. She just recently had a child. He's 5 months old. His name is Ezekiel Aaron. So his name means prophet with a voice. And he has a voice. As all 5 months children do. But the thing about it is, his mother, every day, sings him a little song about his name. And she sings it happily and joyously. How would it be if every one of us had been prayed over like this? It's called Jabez, the prayer of Jabez. If everybody, like Jabez, their parents prayed over them and gave them that blessing every day, you're going to be wise, you're going to be understanding, you're going to have great territory, you're going to reach people that God needs to reach, And I wonder about that, I grew up in a very chaotic family. I was the Number one, I was the first girl born in my father's family in 7 generations. So, was I a princess? Oh yes, I was very much a princess. But my mother's family, she was the youngest of 14. And of those 14 children, there were only 3 boys. So it was all girls. So I didn't get, she didn't understand, how can she be a princess, all of that. My mother and I did not have a very good relationship. And so it was, this adversity between the two of us. I was searching for something when I found unity. I grew up in the Native American Catholic Church, which by Catholic Church standards can be very strict in some ways, but very open and joyful in other ways. And it's a very charismatic church. And so when I moved to Savannah, I started going to a Catholic church. And the church, nothing. Nothing. It was quiet. They, only one person ever got up and shared, and he wasn't sharing, he was reading, So it didn't work for me. So I started looking for a church home. Now, when I got to Unity, there were these principles. And what I'm trying to get to is that these principles, God is all good and active in everything, everywhere. I'm going to read you the children's version because the other one is kind of long. So when I knew when I was a child that God was everything, everywhere, I was raised with that. My problem was getting what I expected to be out of the way. Principle 2. And when I came here, it was like, they understand. So principle 2. Right? I am naturally good because God's divinity is in me and in everyone. I believe that also when I got here. It just resonates. So when we're out there looking for a church and we come here and it resonates with us, it's like, oh, yes, that's what I believe, right? I create my own experiences by what I choose to think and what I feel and what I believe. Now that one was harder for me. I did not think that I created that chaotic life that I was living. I had a hard time with that one, but here was the key. I was willing to learn. If you can teach me how to change my thinking, right? One of the 12-step programs that I attend with regularity has an acronym. And I'm just going to say the words of the acronym. You all can finish the rest of it yourself. But it's simply how I think. And that's the way it was. I had this deranged thinking. I had this stinking thinking, and it was one of those things that I had to change. Okay? Through affirmative prayer and meditation, I connect with God and bring out the good in my life. So how do I change my thinking? By that affirmative prayer and meditation. I had discovered an author, Louise Hay, who has recently passed on. She has a book called You Can Heal Your Life. And it is full of loving affirmations, just loving affirmations, and I use them. I voice recorded them into a cassette tape. Yes, we used to have those kids. Cassette tape into the car. I lived in Hinesville, and I was driving up here, and I would listen to myself telling me those affirmations, those loving, beautiful affirmations. And I would say my name at the beginning of each of those. Lydia Rose Stone, you are a beautiful child of God. Lydia Rose Stone, you have health and love and prosperity. That's what I listened to, because the voice in my head was not my voice. It was somebody else's voice telling me horrible, negative things. And then principle 5, knowing and understanding of the laws of life, also called truth, are not enough. A person must also live the truth that he or she knows. Here's the key. There's a secret. You remember the book, The Secret? You know? Okay, it wasn't such a secret. Not here at Unity. We already knew that stuff, okay? But here, it was for me that I'm already doing that. We do live the truth we know. Sometimes we have to change the truth we know. We have to change it from the negative to the positive. There are blessings all around us. Blessings in everything that we touch, the people we meet. There are things in this realm that we don't even see. My 27-year-old grandson, this is a perfect example of it. He is a cafeteria worker for the Department of Education at one of the elementary schools. And so his cousins go to that elementary school, so they all know him and everybody knows who he is and all of that. They switched him to a new school. And of course he had to learn the new setup and everything. But he had a little blessing that he wasn't expecting. He's out there setting up the salad bar. He's got his hairnet on, his apron on, you know. They have uniforms that they have to wear. And this little girl comes up to him. And I know that the kids at her table dared her to go up and do it. But she walks up to him and she says to him, "Miss Cafeteria Lady, are you a boy or a girl?" We don't know how to associate something without having the experience first. The Native Americans, when the big boats, the ships came and sat in the bay forever when this country was, discovered and founded, it sat in the bay for a week or so. The Native Americans had no way of associating what that was until they got into their boats and started coming to shore. They could associate a boat with a canoe. So, oh my God, the gods are leaving whatever that is out there and coming to us. Because to them, it was like a miracle. Okay, so they had no idea. We don't have any way of knowing what is out there until we share that experience with one another. I love taking classes here because every time and even when I teach the class, I am not the teacher. I am a student. I am here to learn from you those new experiences. You've had an experience I haven't had. And so when it comes into my being, I say, oh, so-and-so had this experience. I understand what that is. So that's why I take classes. And I'm so excited about the classes that are coming up. Dale's going to do the metaphysical Bible studies. And Rabbi Zippy is coming to do some Old Testament work for us. If your Bible is like my Bible, the New Testament has been gone through so many times it's falling out. This is my third Bible. I have another one, bigger one, that's got it like on one page. It has each of the translations there. And it's amazing. It was given to me by a friend because he said, I don't like this one. I'll take it. Because when I was challenged to read the Bible, I was challenged to read it from beginning to end. Not pick and choose at Bible studies like we do today. That's how I came across this prayer of Jabez. I came across this when I was 22 years old. And I've been using that prayer with my children, with myself, because the blessings that come to us are so grand, so beautiful. We can't even imagine. We take so much for granted. There's a little story. This book is in the library over here, the little lending library. It's called The Prayer of Jabez. And Bruce Wilkinson, there's some things I don't like because he's still a dualistic thinker. However, he does have this little story about blessings in here. Mr. Jones goes to heaven. What if you found out that God had it in mind to send you 23 specific blessings daily, but you got only one? What do you suppose the reason would be? There's a little fable about Mr. Jones who dies and goes to heaven. Peter is waiting at the gates to give him the tour. Amid the splendor of golden streets, beautiful mansions, and choirs of angels that Peter shows him, Mr. Jones notices an odd-looking building. He thinks it looks like an enormous warehouse. It has no windows and only one door. But when he asks to see inside, Peter hesitates. You really don't want to see what's in there, he tells the new arrival. Why would there be any secrets in heaven? Jones wonders. What incredible surprise could be waiting for me in there? When the official tour is over, he's still wondering, so he asks again to see inside the structure. Finally, Peter relents. When the apostle opens the door, Mr. Jones almost knocks him over in his haste to enter. It turns out that the enormous building is filled with row after row of shelves, floor to ceiling, each stacked neatly with white boxes tied in red ribbons. These boxes all have names on them. Mr. Jones muses aloud. Then turning to Peter, he asks, do I have one? Yes, you do. Peter tries to guide Mr. Jones back outside. Frankly, Peter says, if I were you. But Mr. Jones is already dashing toward the J's to find his box. Peter follows, shaking his head. He catches up with him, just as he is slipping the red ribbon off his box and popping the lid. Looking inside, Jones has a moment of instant recognition, and he lets out a deep sigh, like the ones Peter has heard so many times before. Because there in Mr. Jones's white box are all the blessings that God wanted to give him while he was on earth, but Mr. Jones had never asked. Ask, promised Jesus, and it will be given to you. That's from Matthew 7:7. You do not have because you do not ask, said James in 4:2. Even though there is no limit to God's goodness, if you didn't ask him for a blessing yesterday, you didn't get all that you were supposed to have. So I belong to a mastermind group. And several years ago, I needed a new car. And in the 12-step programs that I belong to, it's always pray, but do not pray for yourself. Pray so that you can be of service. And so, in my mind, I'm thinking, I need a car. I need to be able to take the kids around. I need to take, I had friends that didn't have cars that wanted to go to meetings. Some wanted to come to church, So in my prayer, I was always asking for divine transportation. And my friend in the mastermind, we had been praying and praying. She said, I'm getting tired of praying this. She says, what kind of car do you want? I said, well, I'd like to have a Jeep Cherokee. Low mileage and, under $8,000. It's going to be on the next lot that you go to. However, it was not on the next lot. It was the one after that. And it wasn't even for sale. They had just received it that day. It needed to be cleaned up and gotten ready for sale. And the salesman sees me, you know how they are, they jump on you. How can I help you? What are you looking for? I says, actually, you have my car right there. And he says, we do? I says, yeah, that red Jeep Cherokee over there. Oh, it's not for sale. When will it be for sale? And he said, okay. So we went in, we drew up the paperwork. It was $7,000. I paid less. Over time, I paid less than $10,000 because I needed someone to say to me, your blessing is already here. It's already here. And I'm one of those people that drives cars until they got 200,000 miles on them, right? I have a blue Taurus out there right now that I didn't have to pay for at all. I pay for the car insurance. That's it. because of the way I'm now thinking. I accept the blessings. Here's the thing. We don't realize the blessings that are available to us, right? And I wish that I could get those blessings, you know. Jesus was a rabbi. Rabbi means teacher. And so he was teaching everyone. He was in the God business. There's a little article in this pamphlet about Jesus being in the God business. And that's what I want to be. I want to be in the God business. I want to know what I don't know. There was a friend of mine who presented this clip to me that we're going to show you in just a minute that just blew my mind, because there are things in there that I never even imagined, never even thought of, you know? So we're going to go ahead and show you the clip now. The lectern. We're not going to. Let's see. I got it. Okay.
This is the afterlife.
Oh, I'm good.
My daughter, is she going to be all right?
Wow. You just started and your main concern is for your daughter. That's good stuff right there. Oh, don't worry. She's a strong girl.
So, what happens now? Do I go to heaven or hell or something?
Oh, neither. You'll be reincarnated.
So the Hindus were right.
All religions are right. In their own way.
So, what's the point? I mean, if I'm going to be reborn, then I'll forget everything that I knew, right?
Not so. You have within you all the knowledge and experiences of all your past lives. You just don't remember them right now. You know, a human life can only contain a tiny fraction of what you are.
How many times have I been reincarnated?
Oh, not a lot. This time around, you'll be a Japanese lady from the 90s.
You're going to send me back in time?
I guess, technically, time as you know it only exists in your universe. Things are different where I come from.
Where you're from?
Sure, I come from somewhere else. And there are others like me.
Hang on. So, if you send me to different points in time, then I could have interacted with myself, right?
Sure, happens all the time.
And you don't even know it's happening.
Sure.
Okay.
So, what's the point of it all?
The reason I made this whole universe is for you to mature.
You mean mankind? Us?
No, just you.
What about everyone else?
There is no one else. In this universe, there's just you and me.
What about all the people on Earth?
All you. Well, different incarnations of you.
So you're saying that I'm everyone who ever lived?
Yes.
So I'm Abraham Lincoln.
And you're John Wilkes Booth.
Hitler?
And you're the millions he killed.
Gandhi?
Yes, and you're everyone who followed him. Every time you victimised someone, you were victimising yourself. Every act of kindness you've done to yourself. Every happy or sad moment ever experienced by a human was or will be experienced by you.
Why? Why do all this?
Because someday you will become like me. Because that's what you are. You're one of my kind. You're my child.
Whoa. So you're saying I'm a god?
Not yet. You're a fetus. I mean, you're still growing. Once you've lived every human life throughout all time, you will have grown enough to be born.
So, the universe is just
an egg. Now, it's time for you to move on to your next life.
Understanding unfolding on the rock. Good foundation. Find out what your name means, because you are a part of my name. Every one of you. You teach me. You teach me how to be who I am. What if Gandhi came back to us from the future and taught us what we know? What if Jesus came back from the futures to tell us what we know? Martin Luther King came back to us from a future. Where are you going? Why are you here? What is your name? Let's go ahead and close with prayer. Thank you. Thank you, God, for bringing us all together, for being a part of who we are, and being able to share what we are and who we are with one another. To bring that love that we were blessed with as a child. To bring our name into a purpose that gives glory and honor to God, because we are God. We are the one presence, and we are the expression of that presence in the world. Thank you for being here. Amen.
What would I do if I knew I could not fail? If I believed the wind would always fill up my sail, how far would I go? What could I achieve? Trusting the hero in me. If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge where true believers dare to tread. Never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step would I take today if I were brave?
What would I do today?
What would I do today if I were brave?
What would I do today?
If I were brave,
What would I do
today if I were brave? What if we're all meant to do what we secretly dream? What would you ask if you knew you could have anything? Like the mighty oak sleeps in the heart of a seed, there are miracles in you and me. If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge where true believers dare to tread. Never lose faith, even when losing my way. What steps would I take today if I were brave? If I were brave, what would I do today? If I were brave, what would I do today? If I were brave, what would I do today? If I were brave, if I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge where true believers, oh, they never tread, never lose faith, even when losing my way. What steps would I take today if I were brave?
What would I do today?
What would you do today? What would you do today? Say it, what would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today now that I'm brave?
Thank you so much, Debbie. Certainly something to contemplate. What would I do if I were brave? One thing that Lydia shared with me earlier is that her Native American name is Quiet Storm. Did you feel the quietness of the storm stirring you up in spirit this morning? Let's give her another round of applause. Thank you so much. Thanks so much. Please join with me in affirming our 5 principles. Number 1, there is only one power, one presence in our lives, and in the universe, God. We are the Christ of God in expression. Thoughts plus feelings equals outcome. There is power in affirmative prayer and in meditation. And we must live the truth we know. And one way we live the truth we know is by making a demonstration. And as you know, that demonstration may come in prayer, demonstration may come in community service, that demonstration may come in a smile. But today, we're going to demonstrate by contributing to this Jesus the Christ ministry by giving. So we're going to ask the ushers, as you hold steadfast in your hands, what have you come prepared to give today? And as we listen to the music, we affirm, so grateful in this moment right now. I am thankful, so grateful right here, right now. I am thankful, so grateful in this moment right now. I am thankful, so grateful right here, right now. I am thankful, so grateful in this moment right now. I am thankful, so grateful right here, right now. Right here, right now. So let us come together in consciousness and bless these offerings, knowing that we have come prepared and we see these blessings as nothing more than extension of love, the love that will be used in loving ways, the love that fuels and keeps this love circulating through a place we call our spiritual home. So in that consciousness and that love and that truth, let us say our offertory statement. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful. Thank you. I am thankful, so grateful in this moment right now. I am thankful, so grateful right here, right now, right here, right now. Thank you for all your gifts. And now one of my favorite parts of the service is to recognize and welcome our first-time visitors. So if you're first-time visitors, please raise your hand and let me know, and we'll get a packet to you. So let's bless our first-time visitor. Yes, over here. Our unity blessings to our first-time visitors. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the light of Christ shining as you. And now, let's welcome our beautiful children. This little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Don't let it. This little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna let it. Oh, I'm gonna let what beautiful dresses we have this morning, isn't that? Just so beautiful. Let us bless our children with our statement. God loves you and accepts you just the way you are. And I love you and accept you just the way you are. I see the Christ in you. And now we receive.
God loves you and accepts you just the way you are. And I love you and accept you just the way you are. I see Christ in you.
Today is Cinco de Mayo. It is the first day of May. So we always like to recognize those who have birthdays and anniversary Sunday. So please come up if you have a birthday or anniversary this Sunday. Come on down here, Kyle. Music man. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Happy birthday to you. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you. You're wonderful. God is blessing you now. And before we say our benediction and our song, let's look back at the camera and say, hey, Reverend Dale. Hey, Reverend Dale. Safe travels back. So let's join together. Let's hold hands.
Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth and peace that is meant to be. With God as my mother, that we all agree. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds